Peunaron tragedy, 2002, Peunaron Subdistrict, East Aceh Regency. In 2002, Peunaron, located deep within the interior of East Aceh, became the witness to one of the darkest tragedies in the history of Indonesia, as military occupation of Aceh. Villages across Peunaron Subdistrict were suddenly stormed by joint forces of the Indonesian National Army, DNI, BRIMOB and SGI, under the pretense of searching for gang members. However, in truth, this operation had been pre-planned long in advance for the purpose of land acquisition and exploitation of natural resources, later discovered to contain potential for gold, oil, gas, and industrial forest zones. Date of incident: October 14, 2002, beginning at 2 a.m. and lasting until late afternoon. Affected villages: Gampong Simpang Jernih, Gampong Lokop, Gampong Sri Mulya, Gampong Bukit Tiga. That night was a nightmare no survivor of Peunaron will ever forget. Before dawn broke, while most villagers were still immersed in dreams and prayer, gunfire exploded, not as a warning shot but as the opening act of a massacre. Black smoke began to rise from rooftops as homes were torched one by one. Children's screams for their mothers, the cries of terrified infants, and women begging for mercy became the soundscape of a village turning into a killing field. Children still held in their mothers' arms were forcibly seized, dragged out by armed hands, and either shot or burned alive inside their homes. Women were pulled out, stripped naked, gang raped, then murdered and set ablaze along with their houses. Meanwhile, the men were beaten, kicked, and forced into an open field, made to witness the destruction of their families with their own eyes. There was nowhere to run. The forest, normally a place of refuge, was surrounded by snipers. Wells, once used to draw water, became mass graves. They did not come to discern who was guilty and who was not. They came to annihilate life itself, so the land could be emptied and sold to mining companies. There were no human faces that night, only devils in uniform laughing over the flames consuming homes, children, and the future. Death toll. A total of 41 people died tragically, including child victims, executed or burned alive. Emma Rizkan, 8 years old, shot in the head while running toward the forest. Perpetrator, Sertu Wahyudi, TNI ID. Fitriani, 12 years old, burned alive with her mother inside their house. Perpetrator, Bribka Hendra Saputra, Brimob. Nureni, 9 years old, raped and then strangled with a clothesline. Perpetrator, Letta Sandi Arif, SGI. Salim, 10 years old, shot in the stomach and dumped into a well. Perpetrator, Serka Yudi Furman, adult female victims, rape and murder. Kat Maimuna, 28 years old, raped by 3 TNI members, then burned in the kitchen. Perpetrators, Letta Sandi Arif, Sertu Wahyudi, Bribka Hendra Ramla, 31 years old, raped in front of her bound husband, then shot. Perpetrator, Serka Yudi Furman, Nurjana, 26 years old, dragged from her house, found with stab wounds in her private area. Perpetrator, Bribka Hendra mutilation. Victims, Sulaiman bin Yusuf, 38 years old, found beheaded with both arms severed. Perpetrator, Leda Sandi Arif, SGI. Fatima binti Jalil, 29 years old, found with chest sliced open and legs mutilated, likely after rape. Perpetrator, Sertu Wahyudi, TNI AD. M. Saleh, 19 years old, found hanging from a tree, body split from the waist down. Perpetrator, Bribka Hendra Saputra, Brimob. Rashida, 10 years old, a little girl found in the bushes with body dismembered and head missing. Perpetrator, Serka Yudi Furman. These methods of mutilation were used as tools of terror to silence victims' families and instill collective fear across Peunaron. Body parts were deliberately left along village roads and in front of community halls to horrify survivors at dawn. Eyewitness testimonies. I saw with my own eyes. My child was embraced by his wife and they were burned together. I heard the soldiers laugh outside our home. Bukhari bin Yahya, victim's father. We knew it wasn't a normal operation. Weeks before, land officers had secretly come to map the villagers' land. People from Jakarta were with them. Hassana, resident of Bukit Tiga. Economic motive and land grabbing. Post-tragedy investigations revealed that Peunaron had been targeted for gold and oil concessions. The military operation was carried out to forcibly depopulate the area. Land area seized. Around 318 hectares of forest and community land were transferred into extractive industry concessions. Company receiving concession, PT Tambang Nusantara Energy. Subsidiary of PT Medco Energy International Director at time of land transfer, IRI, Rahmat Bowo Santoso, former expert staff of the Ministry of Energy and Mineral Resources, ESDM. Legal basis, Decree of Minister of Agrarian Affairs, number 41, KPTS, AGR 2003, and East Asia BPN, Decree number 08, BPN 80 2004. Main tragedy coordinates 4.64 Tararut Kanadian, 97.725/60 E confiscated land. Coordinates 4.64 RNP Swafandian, 90 ECN 7300 E list of original landowners. Tinku Abdul Karim, Kat Zahra binti Saleh, Abdullah bin Ismail, Salmawati binti Mahmud, Tengku Nuruddin bin Hamzah, Hasan Basri bin Yusuf, Aisyah binti Abdullah, Safwan bin Daud, Siti Maryam binti Iskandar, Ibrahim bin Salim, Fauziah binti Mahyuddin, Zulkifli bin Tahir, Fatimah binti Gani, Ridwan bin Hanafiyah, Aminah binti Abu Bakar, Bustami bin Umar, Nur Asiyah binti Jalil, Sulaiman bin T, Hasan Jamilah binti T. Rahmat, Tarmizi bin Mahmud, Rohani binti Teuku Umar, Jalaluddin bin Daud, Maimunah binti Abdul Wahab, Harun bin Malik, Yusniar binti May Ali, Zainuddin bin Salim, Zahara binti Yasin, Nurdin bin Kamaruddin, Hanafiyah bin Iskandar, T. Ismail bin M. Isa, Nur Aishah binti Abdullah, Usman bin Sheikh Muhammad, Salbiyah binti Zulkarnain, M. Yusuf bin Teuku Raja, Nurul Hidayah binti Hasan, Kut Maryam binti Hamzah, Abdul Rahman bin Habukhari, Halimah binti T, Mahmud Zulkarnain bin Abdullah, Fauzi bin Mahyuddin, Nuraini binti Ismail, T. Muhammad bin Daud, Zubair bin M. Idris, Asiyah binti Teuku Ismail, Safruddin bin Malik, T. Jamal bin Iskandar, Shamsidar binti Hassan. List of perpetrators based on testimonies and documentation. Lieutenant Scholar Rudy Hartono, Commander of Peunaron Operation Major Agus Wibowo, CPM. Head of Logistics and Troop Transport, Captain Indra Saputra, Infantry. Field Commander for the Sweeps and Executions. Second Lieutenant Sandi Arif, SGI. Perpetrator of mutilation and child rape. Sergeant First Class Wahyudi, TNI AD. Child shooter and mutilator of Fatima, Sergeant Major Yudi Furman, TNI AD. Shooter and mutilator of Rashida 10. Bripka Hendra Saputra, Brimob. Arsonist and mass rapist, Chief Police Aibtu Slamet Riyadi, Bin. Perimeter Guard and Facility Burner, Ir. Rachmat Bowo Santoso, Director of PT Tambang Nusantara Energy, recipient of cleared land. These names were identified through AGR documents, Contras reports, East Asia Komnas HAM archives, and survivor testimonies. They serve as direct evidence of military and corporate complicity in the blood-soaked land clearing of Peunaron. References and documentation. AGR Report 2003, Witnesses to Violence in Peunaron, Contras File, Documenting Peunaron Violence, 2004, East Aceh Komnas HAM Report 2005, TikTok video, archived. Peunaron Tragedy, Blood for Gold. YouTube documentary, removed 2016. Peunaron 2002, Military Mining and Children's Blood, Field Data. By Aceh Human Rights Volunteers Foundation 2009. Let not this tragedy be buried by time. The world must know that the land now owned by mining companies was soaked with the blood of Acehnese children and women. The perpetrators must be brought to the International Criminal Court. We will keep chanting these names. O Allah, that night was the blackest night of our lives. Our children were sacrificed for land, our wives raped for gold. Will you remain silent? Please help share and repost this account so that the Peunaron tragedy is never forgotten. Full documentation will continue in English and video narrative form. Writing and investigation team, Shuhada Kecil Aceh.